Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Gerard Pratt, and joining us today from the Australian Army is Warrant Officer Class 2, Joanne Davey. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that support them. We acknowledge the members of RSL and Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria and RSL Queensland, who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony from across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors and students on behalf of the following schools. From New South Wales, Roseville College, Primary Department. From Western Australia, John Calvin School, Secondary Department, Yakamia. Comet Bay Primary School, Secret Harbour. Strathalburn Christian College, Primary Department. I invite you all now to please stand and join in singing the National Anthem. Students, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through until the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Private Alexander Thompson. Popularly known as Jack, Alexander Vivian Thompson was born in 1896, the eldest son of Mary and Alec Thompson of Wombat, New South Wales. He grew up in Young and attended the local public school before working as a labourer in the district. Thompson enlisted in the Australian Imperial Force in June 1916. He underwent a period of training in Australia before being sent for active service overseas the following October, with reinforcements to the 55th Battalion. Private Thompson was first sent to England, where he continued his training and arrived in France to fight on the Western Front in early March 1917. On his arrival to France, Private Thompson was transferred to the 18th Battalion. Within weeks, the battalion was involved in the Second Battle of Bullecourt, during which Thompson was shot in the neck. The wound was not considered serious, although Thompson had to be sent to hospital in England and took several weeks to recover. Thompson returned to his battalion in France in August 1917. A month later, his battalion participated in the Battle of Menin Road. The attack began at 5:40 a.m. on the 20th of September 1917. After the 20th Battalion advanced to capture the first objective, the 18th Battalion pushed through their position to take the second objective. They then began digging in, consolidating their position as the 17th Battalion pushed through to take the final objective. As the men were digging in, Private Thompson was hit and died instantly. Thompson's parents received a letter from Chaplain Higgins, which said, "He was one of the company bombers and was an excellent soldier whose loss will be felt by all who knew him. He was buried where he fell, and we have arranged to erect a cross to his memory." Alexander Thompson's battlefield grave was lost in later fighting, and today he is commemorated on the Menin Gate Memorial to the missing. He was 20 years old. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right, among more than 60,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Private Alexander Vivian Thompson, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Poziere, or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. We thank you all for visiting the Australian War Memorial and wish you all a very good evening.